So I got set up really good there. Got my ass beat on my birthday again by the state, by my neighbors, by my family, by everybody. Um, I want to take it back here to the first of that year. So over Christmas, or New Year's Eve, for Fool, the owner of the hotel. Well, so during COVID or whatever, I told them, well, I'll work for you, but only for cash. So they'd always bother me, whenever it would. I swear they were in on it and allowed access to me too, so they could bug me whenever it's convenient for them and inconvenient for me to come in and watch the desk for them while they go out of town to get supplies and shit, or just to mess with me whenever they wanted to. So they were on the take too. Um, so I watched the hotel for his brother, Vishnu, uh, and in Sioux Falls, right across from the gas station where my car got stolen, uh, the first place I was working when I moved to town, which one of the first friends I had in town committed suicide in that hotel. I think that's in another story. Well, and then there was this craze about crypto, and that the government was getting in on it. And so then I started investing at the beginning of that year, and then because of however COVID worked, I got the most tax money I'd ever gotten, and then I invested almost all of it into crypto, and I started trying to figure that out. But really, they were watching me and figuring me out and basing the system of crypto upon me and manipulating it all. And Coinbase still has, I don't know, $1,500 of mine, and I can't even call them to get into my own fucking account. What kind of bank is that? They ain't got a phone number to fucking call them. I send them an email, they don't reply. The fees. And they have two exchanges. And yeah. Scam artists. You know how many people got rich on Bitcoin and got murdered and their money disappeared? Yeah, I wonder who got all that money. Bad people. People who probably run the system today. Or drug cartels, or I don't know. We don't speculate. Well, so um, after that happened on my birthday, um, then a couple weeks later, they had planned to set me up and get me back because technically they were all the people involved in my birthday were fucked. I had a huge lawsuit, but I don't know how all that shit works. And I got no connections, and the law is in on it. Actually, I tried to get a hold of attorneys. Game over. On what? What's up? And all the attorneys in town were paid off or whatever, and I wouldn't touch my case. And so, like, the whole system was working against me. I've been surrounded by those that are supposed to protect and serve and take care of society are actually the ones that are draining it and feeding off of it and keeping all the chosen people who are waking up or whatever down and using the singers as pawns to drain the life force out of them or to bring them over to the singer side so that they can be somebody's bitch, and um, that's not cool. Well, so then a couple weeks after my birthday, I made a mistake, and I pay for it. But they entrapped me too, so that the policeman followed me around for a while. They had to get me back. So I pull up to this bar, and I get out, and I step to the side of the building and take a pee. And this cop car, the 212 cop car, comes fucking peeling into the fucking drive like he should have got a ticket for that. Lost his license. Because I mean, there's people walking all over the place. This motherfucker's reckless driving right fucking there. pulls in the dirt driveway and just and slides it sideways. And he's like, "Were you peeing on that wall?" I said, "No, I was looking at my phone." "Is that your car?" "How would you know that unless you were watching me?" Like, he's like, "Well, you get in that car, I'm arresting you." So total entrapment. So here's another case that I have against the state. Well, so then I go in, I have my drinks, and I come out, and I get in the car, and boom, two cop cars, him behind me and a sheriff in front of me, box me in and fucking force me along and fucking flip their cherries on right in front of the courthouse, and they're all speeding, and I was going like 28 or something and a 25, and that's their excuse, and or that maybe the speed limit drops to 15. I don't know. But they're breaking the law anyway. They're not acting like cops at all. They're acting like fucking criminals. And then so then he pulled, then the sheriff flies out of there because the sheriff's all involved in this shit. He's paid off as fuck apparently, and this guy's his little bitch, his slave that's supposed to stick it to me. Pulls me over and asks all these questions and this shit, and they take me to jail for the night. So I'm in a drunk tank or whatever, and then and so then I get a DUI, and a couple weeks later I get out of crypto because I'm starting to see how I'm not making any gains because they got me boxed in on that shit too, and so I just pull my money out, and then the crypto market right then just. And it ain't really recovered. Only Bitcoin has doubled in value. Well, I guess it's been taking a dump lately again. Because crypto's really just so hidden. Like you don't know where your money's going, and it has to do with magic. It has to do with manipulating the system and getting into the system and boxing us all in and able to steal our money, and we don't know who we're fucking supplying with money, and then they move it across the borders or this or that, and it's out of everybody's hands. It's a fucking illegal as fuck market, like, but it's right out in public, and it's tied into the government now, along with now, who's a crypto genius, he got all his money through PayPal and has, there's probably bodies under him that'll never be found. But anyway, so I pull all my money out, and I go to court, and I'm I have an attorney or whatever, and I wrote up a statement. Maybe I'll read it to you guys or whatever later. But I just used my higher self. I made sure I was absolutely sober for a couple days, and I'm praying to God, fucking. I'm like, why does this keep happening? Why does everybody keep fucking me over? And I can't even be assaulted and without calling the cops, and the cops are gonna beat my ass too, and then award the other people some shit, like all there is criminals. There's no good people in the world or some shit, and um, and I'm like, and my neighbor tells me, oh well, it's who you got for a judge, and I'm like, it's this guy. She's like, really? That motherfucker's an alcoholic. He comes from the next town every day drinking. He drinks on the stand. I'm like, no shit. Once again, where I'm gonna have a fucking drunk judge trying to get me for a DUI, and he drinks and drives every fucking day and is drunk on the stand. What the fuck is that? Is this really how the world is ran? No wonder all the good people are fucked. Like, damn, the system is so corrupt. It's terrible. Well, um, and I got like, I don't know, like 700 in my account or some shit like that. Well, since the system's watching me and I said that, they, ironically, they bring in a lady judge with my dad's last name, Judge Harvey, the female judge. And right before court, I hand the paperwork that I wrote up in my defense, proving the laws and my accountability and everyone else's about these two cases. And they made me they forced me to drop my case. That I had all their asses in a fucking handbag because everyone broke the law in it. And even though, even in the DUI case, that was a total entrapment, and then that's their asses there too. Well, but when I hand him the paperwork, he gives it to the judge and shit, and they'll read it up to themselves. They won't present it in court because, well, apparently I know the law better than they do. I don't know, to some degree. And they let me use my suspended imposition, and I just go straight downstairs, pay the whole thing off, done deal. But that DUI is still on my record, and so it tries to keep me from jobs and shit. While I should be a millionaire based upon those couple things under Christian Nome and Donald Trump, who set this whole thing up. Well, let's see. So then, after that, now shit starts getting rough. Now they got me pinned down. And one night, I'm over at my friend Obi's house, and I don't know if they used an energy weapon on me, if he drugged me, if what the fuck happened. But we have a couple drinks, and all of a sudden I'm feeling all fucking weird. I don't know what's going on. And I go to the bathroom, and I come back to the next room, and Obi kind of lived like a slob. And in order to, at the time, he's just sleeping on a mattress on the floor, and the mattress is right in front of the door, so you got to walk on the mattress to get over to the seats, And so then I'm coming in, and I'm feeling all fucking weird and shit, like I've never felt. I'm gonna pass out, and then all of a sudden, just, boom, and I get the scar. That one right there, off his mini fridge. Just fucking face plant on that motherfucker. And then he just says, when I stood up, I said, "Oh my God, God hates me." Yeah, God doesn't hate me. It's all these motherfuckers are trying to kill me everywhere I go, breaking every humanitarian and legality and oath and whatever human rights thing across the fucking board. Like, and all these people are living it up, laughing about it. And then, on top, I didn't find this out until a couple days later, but apparently he tells me that I got all crazy with him, man, which that ain't like me. I'm not violent at all. And we were wrestling or some shit, and he had me pinned down, and I fucking bit his ass. He showed me the teeth marks, like, on his side right here. He had me pinned down, I fucking bit him. That's how bad. And then he let me go home. After I've been drugged, I've been beat up, I fucking got a concussion. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I leave in my car. But I'm not even who I am. Total fucking setup. I don't know if he was paid off or what the fuck is going on. Next thing I know, I'm parked on the edge of a pond, south of town, and I can't pull the car out. And I'm like, I don't know how I got here, what's going on. At that point, I didn't even know that I'd gotten a fight with Obi. I didn't know I had a concussion. I had no recollection of anything. I'm just like, oh, here I am in the middle of nowhere, and parked in some fucking reeds. So then I get out of the car, and I have to hike like a fucking mile or two. It's so dark. Hold on. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just gonna leave this on hold. You guys, take instruction?
Yes.
All right. You want to start that one? Start that one. Okay. One for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful.
All right, thanks, sir. So, then, I have to hike like a mile and some, pitch black, out of a fucking swamp, through barbed wire fences I can't see, through brambles, across freshly plowed fields that are just furrowed. I'm fucking tripping. I'm just fucking just, it's like trying, it's a war zone, like after German bombing or some shit, that I'm like hiking out of here after I already got my ass kicked, drugged, concussion, all this shit at my best friend's house, the only friend I got. And ironically, I stumble onto the highway. You know, I don't know where I am, north, south, east, west, what country. And I'm like standing in the middle of the road. I flag the first person, and that car just like stomps on the gas. Boom! The fucker almost runs me over, just drives by. Then this next one starts pulling up and slowing down, sticks her head out the window. She's like, "Josh?" I'm like, "What? Hey, I know you." And I guess she was working in another town as a bartender and had just gotten off of work after cleaning the bar and everything and going to her boyfriend's house at 4 a.m. So there's that miracle again where God saves me out of the blue. I don't know. She takes me home in the morning. I call the cops. I'm like, so last night I was drugged. I got a concussion. And then somebody sent me home. And then my car is somewhere. Could you, if you find it, could you pull it out and give me a call so I can come get it? Well, so they call me a day or two later and like, yeah, we got your car. Yeah, we towed it to the next town, 30 miles away. That way you can't get it, even though there's a tow station right in town. And it was on federal land. And supposedly you hit one of our monuments. Supposedly. Who knows? Because everybody's lying and everybody's crooked as fuck. But you were on an unauthorized road to get there. And we'll drop the parts where you ran into our monument, but we're going to charge you $212 to drive on the unauthorized road, and we're going to charge you $300 to get your car out from a town you can't get to, and $30 a day. So in a month, it's going to cost you $3,000, and you didn't even pay that for the car. So yeah, and all your camping gear's in the back of that, and your beloved MP3 player with all your music, so we can use that against you because of whatever, everything about me. They're trying to steal it in order to hurt and take advantage of me, to run their own fucking games and shit. So that was the last time I had a car. That was 3 years ago. Stolen by the police department. After everybody took advantage of me again, beat my ass, fucking me up, drugged me. Just like what happened here in town. I leave the bar after having one drink and a shot that was forced upon me on the way out the door, and then boom, and then you wake up in a hospital. Oh yeah. Like, there's so many people that are implicated in this shit. Everybody thinks they're gonna get away with everything. As if there is no God and their God. If that's the case, everybody's in trouble. Then their God is Satan himself. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in laws. They believe all of them are above the law and they can do anything they want to anyone as long as they got a secret, a backdoor bro pact or some shit. I don't know. It's pretty pretty rough. So then, that Christmas, I spent in the dark, no power, no light, no water. I mean, I had running water, but that's about it. No food, nothing through Christmas for like 3 months until like February, March. Then somehow the government gave me like this. Somebody put me on to something about, well, they can help you with your utilities for this much. But it didn't even last that long. Yeah, like for 30 days or I don't know what it was, but then it cut it short, so it didn't even last that long. So then all of a sudden I'm in the fucking dark again. No food, no way to get around, and jumping down the well again. And but the police will make sure that I get that. They'll make sure that I get that. Make sure that that the neighbor, that her dealer's name's Josh. Yeah. And then they end up arresting her. And then I have to go pick up her vehicle at the dealer's house. And then while she's away in jail and then treatment, I'm spending part of my days over at her place because at least there's electricity and shit. But she's like 50 some, laid up in bed, got all these medical problems. But she's not helpless, but she plays helpless. And her mom's taking care of her, sends her money every month. But she just gets spent all the time just to do it, to play on her phone. I don't know. And I clean up her house for her. I take care of her cat. Her mom starts coming by every once in a while. I get her mom to fix her vehicle because she got some things wrong with it. Like, and I'm taking care of her life better than she could take care of it. I'm cleaned up, cleaned up during that time again. And then we go visit her and treatment, and she's trying to get me a sneaker shoot in. And I'm like, not doing it. And then come my birthday. I don't know if this is like 2022. Must be. It's 24 now, yeah, 2022. So on my birthday, I call my mom. I'm like, I need some money to get on my feet and get the fuck out of here. Oh, she sent me the $212 so I wouldn't go to jail over them stealing my car. But mom says, call me on your birthday and I'll send you $3,000 and you can come home or you can get on your feet or whatever. Call my mom on my birthday. She won't answer me. She won't answer me the next day. She won't answer me the next day. Oh, it looks like another fucking setup. So then that summer was the fucking hardest. I went to that summer without a vehicle, without a friend, really. With the landlord trying to throw me on the street. I had my whole house packed up in a pile for whenever I could get the fuck out of there. Nowhere to go, no family in the world to support me. Even my own mom at the time. Abandoned once again. If I was allowed to run any of these people's lives as their husband or their dad or whatever, and manage the money, we'd be fucking set. Instead, they just throw everything away. And I always have to take the elevator shaft to the bottom, And every time I'm trying to come up, and somebody, fucking tries to scout me and shit. And, and all I got is God to rely on, and not knowing what to do. During the month of July that summer, I think I went at least about 20, 21 days without eating. I ran an extension cord from the outside of the building in through my window, and then I'd have my laptop, a lamp, and a fan, and the microwave if I could ever come up with anything to eat each night, and then I'd pull the cord back in, whatever, and sleeping on the floor and shit. And went like 11 days without eating and 5 days twice. And there was even 2 different periods where my cats couldn't eat. Sophie and Tigger didn't get to eat for 5 days on 2 occasions. There was a point where I got down to somebody gave her some dry cat food, and I ate half the dry cat food because I was starving to death. And everybody's out to get me, for real. And laughing about it while they're making fucking money and looking like the heroes, supporting society in Pierce, South Dakota, at the White House, and at the courthouse and shit in town, and the police station. Every day, this is where I got into tarot, mostly. Where the only people that I had on the face of the earth was the tarot readers. Where I'm trying to figure out a way out, and have people and not feel so isolated. So each day, I'd get up, I'd walk the 2 miles, because I live outside of the city limits, so it's like a quarter mile to the city limit sign, but then it's like another half mile till you get to the edge of town, and it's like another mile and a quarter till you get to downtown. So every day, starving or whatever, I'd have to walk 2 miles into town, and then I'd sit at this restaurant, and I'd plug in my laptop, my phone, and everything, and sit there and download tarot videos from all my favorite people. And then, or sometimes I'd go over to the hotel and I'd sit outside or in the bushes, all fucking weird and creepy, and download a bunch of videos off the Wi-Fi there, and so that I could go home and I could spend time with the only family it felt like I had in the whole world. And even when I put like Cash App up and asked for help, nobody ever sent me $1. I don't know if it was because it's blocked, because there was a running system to make sure that nobody could send me any money. But yeah, it's been this way for years. But then anybody can go on and tell a shop store and people start throwing them cash. I wasn't trying to get any attention. Like, I'm not like that. Well, so then, let's see. So then, I mean, I didn't know about the laws about how you couldn't kick anybody on the street because of COVID or whatever. But I only figured this out a couple days ago. So then, the landlord sends me a letter or something threatening that I have to get out of there, otherwise he's gonna have the sheriff after me. And in that letter, it showed that his boss is the landlord that was the landlord when. So then he's somebody's pissing it, and they made sure it was Michael Martin. And I tied that all together. I'm like, and Selena's with Martin, short and Martin, Martin, and I got Martin, and what? And when I lived here in Alva, the head co-op guy was a Michael Martin too. I'm like, there's some weird shit going on around here, all Masonic and otherwise kind of stuff. And the ways that they got to chained together so that everybody could watch me and use me as their manifestation pool to get rich. While they all get to kick the shit out of Jesus for what it's worth. Um, let's see. Oh, so then one of the neighbors, there was a girl that lived there, but all of a sudden she stopped being there, and there was another guy. There's a guy that was watching the place for her. Well, one morning I wake up and I see him come to my door and stick a note to it. After he walks off the door, it's a note from the sheriff's office. So the sheriff puts a note on my door, a legal document, stating that he dropped this letter off using somebody that's apparently one of their fucking stool pigeons, like, and I come to find out that the whole fucking place is rigged and everybody in it. And the sheriff right up there, be talking to Kristen Elm, setting the whole fucking thing up. And then the radio back to Trump. So then I'm all getting scared or whatever. I don't know where to go. And I don't know how I ran into this guy. But this guy picks me up. And I run into him somewhere. He's like, you can stay with me. I got a spare room and stuff. I'm like, really? Yeah, I'll move in tomorrow or whatever. Funny thing is, that fucking morning, motherfucker's drunk and get to DUI and wrecks his truck or some shit. He's got this big old fancy, nice pickup. But he's still illegal. I didn't find this out until he illegally drives with his DUI on his record, and comes and helps me move all my stuff in or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so how about I pay you like $10 a day to stay here? It's like $300 a month, and I just need it for a couple months. I just want to be left alone in my space. I'll feed myself, just whatever.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Have to sign anything?
Yeah, sign in and initial at the bottom.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I'm gonna go out and have a cigarette while I finish this story. We're gonna take a break here. Let's see. So then I move in with this guy. It only takes a couple hours and shit starts going fucking sideways, right? I mean, it's just, I had nowhere to go. And then, but technically, I didn't even have to leave my place. Not that it was a good place to be. Because that's why the sheriff had this other kid put that in, but it's a legal court document, so then he's fucking, he's the sheriff, and it's all illegal, he's fucking dirty as fuck, so who could trust him for any piece of paper he ever fucking filed? Alright, well, so I moved with the guy, and then I put the girls in the room, I put my stuff in there, And I'm like, hey, you want this microwave? And he's like, yeah, it's better than my microwave. I'm like, shit, I ain't need a microwave. And then I give him stuff, and I'm the one that doesn't have shit. I'm like, fuck, I don't need to cart around any more stuff than I have to. I ended up leaving behind my fancy desk, my fancy rugs, told the neighbors they could just take it. I had to leave so much stuff in the garage that the landlord and everybody could just steal or sell or do whatever they wanted with. Um, Taking advantage. Well, I tell him, he's like, hey, we should let our animals play together. I said, no, we're not doing that. They don't like dogs, and I'm back to stay here forever. Just leave my cats alone, okay? That's it. If we're paying, we made an agreement, and just leave my space alone. Remember to do anything wrong in there. I just need to sleep in and store my stuff till I can get on my feet. So then we're up all night or whatever, and I'm like, um, trying to remember if it's the day before or after. Oh no, okay. Uh, so then after we dropped the stuff off first and the cats and get all moved in, he's like sitting down. He calls his friend. He needs some money, and he just got in a DUI somewhere, wrecked his truck and shit, and he asked his friend for like $300-400, and his friend says, all right, but don't you be going out and drinking, especially no fucking gambling. He's like, all right. Hangs up the phone, and then he's like, all right, I need you to drive. Since I'm not allowed to drive. And I'm like, that's fucking convenient that you ran into me about this time so I can babysit you. First thing he does, we go to a bar. He wants to go to the bar. We have a beer. And then by the second beer, he goes over and starts gambling. And then we go to another bar. And he sits down in a machine and just puts in like $100. And then calls over this black kid and starts treating that black kid like their best buds, like this is his son or whatever. And he's like, here, I gotta go make a phone call. Why don't you sit down and you play these numbers for me? And I'm just standing there like, what the fuck? Like, I'm babysitting this guy. And fucking now he's acting like you don't even fucking know me. You can't even get home without me. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And then me and this black kid are talking. I'm like, you know him? He's like, no, I don't know him. I said, I barely know him either. He just moved in with him this morning or a couple hours ago. And he plays it for me, and I'm like, man, and he borrowed this money, and he ain't even supposed to be doing none of this. And I'm like, and it's losing. He gets down like $40. I'm like, hey, don't say nothing, okay? I'm fucking looking out for this dude. Obviously, this guy can't take care of himself whatsoever. So I'm gonna cash this out, okay? So I put $40 in my pocket, right? I go back and I tell the guy, and I'm not trying to, I'm not a thief, but I'm just like, fuck, I don't know what's going on here. This is a stranger, and I'm living with this guy, and I might need this fucking money. As is, considering this looks like another bad fucking situation. So I go back and I tell the guy, yeah, he's out of money. Fuck, it's cold out here. I'm shaking. And the guy's like, he's all mad. He's like, there's no way he could spend all that money. And I'm like, yeah, he's just like straight lost. So sorry, man. He's all pissy. We get home and starts arguing with me, telling, well, and he takes all these pills too and tries to get loopy on them, and none of them mix with alcohol either. And he's an alcoholic, and he's got this. He married a Mexican lady, but he basically entrapped her to get her across the border to babysit him and shit, because he knew her from before when she had her husband or whatever. But this chick, she seems real nice, but she doesn't speak much English, and she walks like five, like 3 or 4 miles to work every day and home, like as if she's like trying to get the fuck out of there too. And then I tell him, I'm going to go look for work, and I'll be home this evening. So I spend the whole day walking around town, trying to get a job, trying to get the fuck out of there. It's another bad fucking deal. Immediately, I come home, and the bedroom door's open. The cats are so fucking scared. They're fucking hissing at each other. They're hissing at their own shadow. They're fucking about ready to crawl out of their fucking skin. They're just terrified. And who knows what he did to them, but he just let his animals in there and do whatever the fuck. And then I'm like, what the fuck? We talked about this. He's like, yeah, well, while you were gone, I talked to my friend, the one that he borrowed the money from, and then did exactly what the friend told him not to do. And um, and he says that you owe me more money than whatever, and so now you're gonna pay me this much a month, and this and this and this and this and this, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then we get in an argument, and I'm like, fine, I'm gonna be out of here by tomorrow, but they're like his friend has to come over and moderate, and his friend's like, you can't just fucking throw him on the street, and we the one that took him in and shit. Like, fucking at least let him put his cats in the shit in the garage. Like, what the fuck? He's all trying to throw my shit out the fucking door and just being a total fucking dickhead, just another fucking Dave, with a fucking demon attachment. I don't know. And lo and behold, so then I'm like, fuck. This is my whole, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? There ain't no fucking straight up people in the whole fucking world, and they're all in on it together. Fuck. Every single day, 24 hours a day, everywhere I go. So I'm walking downtown, and lo and behold, God, I don't know. So I run into this other kid. His name's Josh, and his dad's a preacher, and he's all fucked up about God because, well, because of that. But he's a hardcore alcoholic, and he's a big kid, and he's like, well, he moved back up there to get away from his dad and his family, but he's got it real rough, and he ain't very sharp, but he's a really good kid, guy, whatever. And he's like, well, we're having a party tonight, and over at so and so. You want to come? And the lady next door, she might have a room for you or some shit. I'm like, right on, right on. I ain't got nothing better to do. Like, fuck. Hopefully my cats are alive when I get back, and my stuff's still there. So then we go to the party and whatever. We're hanging out, and I'm moving. Well, and then talking to this lady Deb, and I tell her, I'll pay you, this much a month or whatever. I just need a fucking space to be left the fuck alone, just for a couple months. I don't need to see nobody. I don't need you to feed me. But if you want, like, I'll fucking make you dinner every fucking night. Just a fucking please. Is anybody gonna be straight up in this world? So she's like, all right, you can sleep in the entryway. This lady's got her dog shitting all over, her son's dog shitting all over the house. He's got junk, like, in the basement. It's tore up as fuck. I went down and looked when nobody was home just to see, like, how do these people live, It's not like I have a choice. He has, like, 5-gallon buckets of piss down there and shit. He just lives on his video game. Like, oh my God, it's another fucking terror house. Oh my God, this is so bad. It's so hot in that entryway, or so cold. Like, it leaks like a motherfucker. Like, it's a space. It's like 4 foot by, well, after my stuff's in there and her stuff's all stacked up. Like, I have, like, there's barely enough room for me to lay on the floor, and that's about it. Me and Sophie and Tig are in there, and her son, since he's slow or whatever, so she has him so that he has to walk through my room every single morning and stand there over me while he waits for the short bus to show up for him to take him to work for 4 hours. I mean, and so then I have my space. Like I just have some creep staring down at me every morning when I wake up. And then every Friday and Saturday night, they have this lady Deb who has this huge mural of Jesus at the Last Supper on the wall with the Trinity symbol on it in all the corners or some shit. She gets out bottles of Windsor, and people take shot for like every 5 minutes. Everybody's taking a shot. It's just a whole bunch of like lost middle-aged guys that are like 30 years old or in their late 20s, and um, that just come over and get fucking blasted every fucking weekend. And I'm in another fucking hellhole prison going, fuck, God, what the fuck? Every single person is fucking fucked up. And there ain't no good people anywhere around the world. And if there are, they're being made sure that I can't get home to anybody. There's no safe place for me. Let's see, I'll eat up out of there and I'm gonna quit for now. So then I'm applying, I'm applying, I'm applying, I'm applying. I'm trying to get the fuck out of there. As soon as I get some money, I pay her and shit. And then she acts like since I paid her money, now we have equality, and now we're gonna have problems because she everybody's gonna have something hang over my head. Well, they don't have a leg to stand on, but they have everything they need. What the hell? Oh, so then there's this Indian kid that's her nephew. Fucking one night, it might have been the first weekend. I'm making everybody spaghetti in the kitchen. I'm taking care of the family, whatever you want to call that house. I'm taking care of everybody. I'm making dinner. And he starts to fight with me, telling me that I'm racist and shit. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, yeah, against Indians. I said, I'm a fucking native motherfucker. Oh yeah, whatever. And this motherfucker just got, I met him a few months earlier, and he's got a court case from stabbing somebody. And um, and one of the jobs I applied for was at a nursing home, and he gets that job over me as a violent criminal that stabs me. And one of the other jobs I applied for as a head cook, he gets that job too. This motherfucker gets two good jobs over me, and he's the most unstable, unsafe, dangerous motherfucker next to Dave I ever met. And then I get put up. Eventually, I get a job for Persona, which is another place owned by powerful people running society so they can keep a watchful eye on me. Well, I get my so then I'm making spaghetti for him. He fucking comes up behind me while I'm doing the dishes and tries to choke me out. And then I fucking pin his ass to the ground. I wouldn't hit him. I pin his ass to the ground. I said, get the fuck off me. And then he fucking comes at me again. And then he tries to swing at me, and I grab his arm, and I fucking pin him on the ground again. And then he swings at me again, and I grab his arm, and I fucking pin him on the ground again. 7 times. He comes at me with a knife, a fork. And everybody just stands back. I'm like, anybody can do anything? No. Nobody's gonna do anything. We're waiting to see if he'll kill you. Why? The fuck is wrong with you people? So I have to live there a couple months. And one night he starts to fight with me and actually gets a punch in or whatever, and I pin him down, and I could have killed him at that moment because there was a couple moments there, but I didn't even strike him once. I never did I hit him one time ever. And then he all tries to get in my room and shit, and I'm just packing my laptop, a couple things that I got, and I head out and I go over to Obi's house, and I have to leave the girls in the entryway room that I was stuck in, and hoping whatever my stuff would still be there when I got back, and my animals wouldn't be dead. And I go to Obi's house, and we have some drinks or whatever. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know where I'm gonna go. And at like midnight, I'm like, hey, I got a few bucks, because I got this job. Why don't we walk to this 24-hour gas station and get some pizza or whatever? He's like, right on. We go there, and I look at the board where they got pinups, and one of them is a play for a roommate that's like 2 blocks from Obi's house. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna call this place in the morning because I can't even go back to where I'm living. Hey, what's up, Jess? Doing good. Call this kid in the morning. And he's like, yeah, come by and check the place out. I got another college kid, and he's a college kid, and we just need a roommate or whatever. And he says, yeah, you can move in. You seem like a real straightforward, cool dude. And I'm like, so do you. But I don't know. So then I go back to my place where my stuff is, and that native kid has stolen my safe, which I don't think there was anything in it. I can't remember what was in it. But later on, he said that the people said that he stole it because that's a gun case and he wanted my gun. So then, what? This guy shouldn't be around any weapons. He shouldn't even have hands. He's so violent. And he tore up my room and fucking just destroyed a bunch of stuff. So I called the police to come and escort me out of there with my stuff and to make a report. And who's the cop that shows up? It's that 212 cop again. So then I get out of there. And of course, nothing happens to this kid. And I couldn't even pay Deb to take care of me. I even owed her extra money, and I told her I'd give it to her. So she'd just rather try to have somebody kill me. And so I don't know why she'd want that to happen in her house. But then I move into this college kid's house, and let's see, that was 2 years ago, I think. And Valentine's Day, I don't know what happened, but I slipped on some ice, and my phone got all messed up, and I couldn't call into work, and then work just cut me loose. It's out of the blue. I couldn't even call in sick. Once I finally called in, they're like, we let you go. Okay. And that's where actually the videos on here where I'm making dragon noodles, my very first video, was at that college kid's house. And that's where I started making some tarot videos and started talking, is at that place. So that's where I come in at. So what are you up to today, Jess? I'm done with this part of the story for today, since we're kind of caught up to where it's kind of all been documented on here. Show family. Yeah, I guess that's me too. I mean, my family's on here. So are all my enemies out there, but kind of out of place in the center of attention. So might as well have everything on record. Get some coffee here. I think I got a 3-day weekend. Wish I had some money or a car. Yeah, it's been more than rough. I don't know. People who've been to war have had it easier than me. I would rather just fucking be in Iraq for a little while, get shot a couple times, and come home and get a pension for the rest of my life, and have a sob story, and at the same time everybody call me a hero, Um, Instead, it's been exactly the opposite. While I have been a fucking hero, uh, I've kept from hurting anybody. Well, everybody gets a chance to hurt me, including the system, and all the authorities are supposed to be protecting people and stuff, and all those that, for the time being, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. Recently, my hours started getting cut at my job, and I'm behind on my rent. And taxes are being held back, and I make about as much money as exactly what I need each month right now. So I don't have everything to invest to go forward. I don't have a vehicle to move around, but at least at my home, as far as I know, my landlord's a decent guy. It seems like, and um, and at least that's a secure place for now. And for the time being, this job is, obviously I have a lot of free time. That if I knew what I was doing with myself, I'd uh, I'd have hours a day to work on that business or whatever. But I'm instructed to wait for the time being. So, but it's not too bad. At least I got my space, and as long as I stay by myself all the time, then nothing bad happens to me because I can't trust people that are directly around me because they all change until not on TikTok. No, I haven't used TikTok. That's the only. I mean, I think I have a TikTok account, but I don't think I have anything on there. I just started sharing my story, you know, just in the last week with these couple lives. Oh yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of things are blocked for me because the powers that be, you know, for what it's worth, um, I know that my videos have seen a lot more numbers than what it says, and so it's all being manipulated so that my story won't spread, and 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 there's like a bidding war or whatever, waiting to see who I belong to out there, and then all of a sudden, it's it's a complicated situation, like I'm a piece of property or whatever, imprisoned until whoever gets me, and then I can be their pet or some shit. I don't know. It's pretty messed up. Or until I can get some awards from all the things that have happened to me, or I don't know. I don't know. But I'll check that. I'll think about it on TikTok since I have the videos anyhow. See what time is it? 7. I don't know. I might be on later tonight. I'm not sure. Or maybe I'll go home and do a tarot video or something. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get off here for a little bit. I'll put in about 2 hours worth of live today, catching my story up for the collective, just so I get something on record and get it all off my chest for now. So it's good seeing you. Um, I'm sorry, I subscribed to you and not unsubscribed, and it's not. It's only because of some weird stuff that's going on around the sides where I got to keep my who I'm subscribed to very exclusive to certain people, and so I build up who I'm subscribed to very slowly. But I plan on watching some more of your videos and whatever. And so, and the weird thing is, lately, it automatically will subscribe me to people's channels, and then I'll unsubscribe, and they're probably thinking, "What the hell? Why does he subscribe to my channel and unsubscribe? Why didn't I subscribe to you in the first fucking place?" You know? And then I gotta unsubscribe. So yeah, there's some fishy shit going on out there, and that's why I gotta be on here and share what I got to some degree, because it's really, that's how I ended up on YouTube, because it was the only way to protect myself, or if anything happened to me, to have any record, because I've been in danger a long time, and it's not just small gang stalking. We're talking super powerful people, and and to keep me looking like I'm nobody.
Hello.
Well, I'm gonna get going. See you later. Hello.
Hey, can I have some paper toilet?
Yeah.